I'm passionate, like us after more than just cashing. Feed me to the wolves, now I lead the packing. You boys all cap, I'm more Colin Kaepernick. I'm rare as affordable healthcare, or going to wealth from welfare. I turn my W's to yeah, those. I might buy a red bottoms with the crypto. 3 coins, that'll pay your host a match.
And thank you, Coach. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Green Bay Packers and the New York Giants. The shadows starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports.
No. Check. Patriot. Now let's go.
Now a play fake here on first down. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. He got 29 yards that time. And early on, they're picking up right where they left off last week.
And I know a lot of coaches say each game is its own. You don't really have carryover. This feels like carryover. So much confidence from the previous game that they're using to their advantage now.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. He'll get it to the 40. Broke a tackle there to get some extra yardage. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
They'll set up to throw. Philip Dorsett hauls it in. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And a nice gain of 21 yards. First trip to the red zone for the Giants. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. Here's a give to Barkley. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something.
And he will take it all in for a Giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley, touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Giants take it right down and score on the opening drive. Rosas good with the extra point. And it's now a 7-0 game. Rosas now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 18. They start on the ground. This is Stewart on first. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Eli Apple up from his corner spot to make the play.
And that's called winning at the point of attack, isn't it? Right there at the line of scrimmage. I know he's a little bummed out now. He doesn't get credit for a tackle for a loss, but no game, his guys will take that.
And speaking of winning, to be as cheesy as we can, he was the winner of the NFC Defensive Player of the Week award from last week, so he's really stringing together some good football.
So not only did he get a gold star, he might have gotten a gold watch too, huh?
Hey, check 26. Zoom.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left. We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. On second down, here's Barkley. And he's got room. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 20. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Nice job there defensively on 3rd down. Not only did they string the play out, but they didn't allow any room for a cutback. Really well organized on the defensive side.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end drop.
And the ball is knocked out, and the Packers pick it up. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And left side here, it's Graham. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
We really didn't have any doubt that he was going to be one of the top-rated rookies coming into the league, especially as a runner. And he's given us no reason to change our minds. That's a big-time run, and the production that he showed us in college is translating very well into the National Football League.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
While we know that the identity of this offense is to throw the ball, they've got to run it every so often, if for no other reason than to tamp down the pass rush. They can't let them just tee off and get to their quarterback.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Adams. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Rodgers finding Adams for a Packer first. A first red zone opportunity now for the Packers. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. Now the first carry for Ty Montgomery. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. A great play there with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Packers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. 2nd quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. Fielded about a yard deep. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
A handoff to Barkley. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. On play action, they'll throw. He finds Beckham complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one will go down as 33 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. A 1st down carry for Barkley. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Losing yardage back at the 35. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Now this time he'll look to throw. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Caught left side, it's Beckham. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Odell Beckham with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Giants are in for 6. PAT up and good by Rosas. And that makes the score 14-7. Rosas now to kick this one away. Here comes Montgomery now to return it. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. A gain of 6 there on first.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Olivier Vernon in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Working from the gun, Rodgers. He finds Randall Cobb with a completion. And it's a 15-yard pickup, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent game. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout. Online, but off the crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley, and he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
I'm laughing to myself because I could just hear in film session, but Coach, I was throwing it to Odell Beckham Jr. Of course I thought he was open.
They'd love to go deep downfield to him, though. Such a threat.
Yeah, a rare incompletion because most of the time we expect him to actually come up with the catch.
Back to throw. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. Oh, that's just not fair, and now room to run. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. Now Crosby for the point after. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And terrific field position here as they finally get him just shy of the midfield stripe.
In a tie game, both sides are looking for something to give them an advantage. It often falls back on special teams, and that return, that could be the spark to untie the game.
Good starting field position for the New York Giants here as they come up 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
After the pick 6, they go right back to the air. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Muhammad Wilkerson in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. Evan Ingram was the intended target, and that'll make it 3rd down. Well, you got a young quarterback. You know, maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open.
It's caught inside the 25. A big play there just before halftime. 46 yards. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Giants have broken our tie as they take the lead. Rosas now to kick this one away. Here comes Montgomery now to return it. Oh, twisting away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Rodgers now on first down. Escaping the pressure right. Now he'll let this one go deep, right? That's caught at the 25. A big play there just before halftime. 52 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down. And Crosby puts it through, but now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. So we've reached halftime. We now proceed to the start of the second half. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically what they're doing is
rush coming, and he's taken down. B.J. Goodson in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Buying time to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position. Couldn't hold on. Third down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Looking deep for Adams. It got his man complete. The 30, the 20, 10, 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get them in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The Packers on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and goal. The handoff comes to Stewart. This defense bending but not breaking. It's a gain of 3. It's now 4th and goal.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
So it's an old-school extra point that counts 3 times. It's certainly a disappointment they weren't able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, I can just imagine post-game, head coach looking at the box score, 19-yard field goal, grimacing a little bit, but having to realize that at that moment, getting 3 points was vital. Go ahead and get the points, put them on the board. Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Let's go! White 90!
And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
Hurry up, here we go!
They'll set up a throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they finally are able to take him down at the opposite 47. It's a big-time play there for the G-men. 42 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
But he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here. I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right? And look at this. It's a fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line.
Anytime a fake doesn't work, we usually focus our attention on the guys that were unsuccessful. But how about the defensive guys? They have to plan all week. They have to prepare all week. Special teams, it looked like they were educated for that one.
Educated on their toes and getting a big stop.
That's fine. Yeah.
On 2nd down, they run with Stewart. And Stewart lost the football. It's loose. And who's got it? The Giants. Anything to make of this or just a bad stretch? Because he had the 2 fumbles he lost last week and now a 3rd.
It's a bad stretch, but it's one that he has to make sure he overcomes. This isn't on anyone else but him. Taking care of the ball, tucking it away, keeping it high and tight, all the while doing that and not slowing down his running and his ability to move the ball forward.
Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? you make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. He'll look to throw. It's caught. Beckham. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Back 99 Philly. Here we go. Watch him now, Barney.
Looking to throw. Flushed out right. Caught on the right side by Dorsett. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A really nice gain of 25 yards. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
He's going to get it running right. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and they're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back now here at MetLife Stadium. And we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the 4th. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. They'll drop the throw. Being chased out left. He can run for it, and he will. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
And Rosas puts this one through. And that'll move their lead up to 4 now. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now. They feel a whole lot better about their position.
Oh, and a touchdown the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they thought they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. 20, 10, touchdown, Packers. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, his first touchdown on the year. And the Packers have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Fielded about a yard deep. Able to spin free. It's a room to maneuver. And now nothing but green ahead of him.
Wrap up.
Still moving.
And when you're facing a deficit on the scoreboard, you're just looking for something to get you right back into the game, and that's the spark that they were looking for. They got it with that big return.
Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. So we come up here on 1st and 10. It's Barkley on the counter. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
They keep it with Barkley on first down. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Here we go now. Boom, landed.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Eluding the pressure right. Able to power. Oh, no, he lost the football. And this is going to be Packer football. And just as they thought they might be able to take that across and get the lead, a big red zone turnover.
I know that I am defense-centric, and I want to give them a whole lot of credit, but I just can't believe after that drive, in that position, ball security paramount, they turn the ball over. Terrible.
And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Adams. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. That'll put him over 150 yards receiving now. Quite a ball game and a first down. Now Stewart on first down. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
Throw left side is taken in by Stewart. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
Back north. Over.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Flush to his right. He's got Adams on the hookup. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a first down. So the drive takes him into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Back to the ground now with Stewart. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. It'll be a gain of 2, and speaking of 2s, it'll take us to the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. This is 3rd and 2, maybe the biggest play in this football game. They'll try and run it. Here's Stewart. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Well, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And the Giants are going to get the football back. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. He's back to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a 2nd down. This is where, of course, it's good to have a veteran quarterback under center.
You would just be able to put on one of those blood pressure clips, and nothing would be different for him. He's done it many times before, expects to get it accomplished again.
He's going to let it fly, and he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up 3rd down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Back to throw. It's complete on the bubble screen. That's Shepard. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
They'll look to throw. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It'll be a loss of 7 on the play, and it'll be a 2nd and long. Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Then it's Clinton Dix with a pick.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
They'll start the drive with a run by Stewart. Looking to find a lane, but he can't rein in at the line of scrimmage. And now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively. As they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. The busy night continuing for Stewart. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And a great move on the play as he takes this one past the 25. And now the Giants, they get the officials' attention and take another timeout as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. On 3rd down, it's Stewart. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Now here's a whistle and a timeout. It's called by the receiving team here as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Here's Thomas. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jones. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Wait a second. They did not accept that after the incompletion. Your look is just as puzzled as mine.
I got nothing for you here. You have to take that penalty, don't you?
It's 3 yards. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for the Packers, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for the Giants, the loss will drop them to 6-3 now on the year. And they will get a home date next week as they will take on the Dallas Cowboys. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here.